from that to this in terms of...
Congratulations on the series, the success of it. It's so hard to have a series that lasts so long. You guys managed more than 100 episodes, 7 years.
Yes.
How did it feel to be on the show for around that long?
It feels amazing.
Uh-huh.
It feels like a dream come true.
Yeah.
Quite literally. An actor to have a job for that long.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
going to work tomorrow
Yeah.
for that long is incredible. So, I mean, I wasn't sure if I'd ever have.
Yeah.
And here I go.
Uh-huh.
And then to have it be so successful and be with people that I genuinely like.
Yeah.
That's also a kind of a special thing.
That's fantastic. Now, George grew as a character over the course of the series. And how did it help you as an actor, you think, with all the stuff that you had to play?
I loved the way that we got to explore this family and explore this character beyond what we knew of him as a punchline on a different show.
Yeah.
George was used as a punchline for Sheldon, of course, and reasonably
Right.
so. And like everybody in Sheldon's family, we got to explore and see them for the first time as great people.
Yeah.
And so that just opened up the world for so much nuance and new fun actor stuff to do, to figure that out and play with the writers. And that was a joy to get to do. And to have surprises along the way.
Right.
To change the mind about preconceptions of what people thought of his character.
Right.
It's a cool dream to get to be a part of as an actor.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, do you feel like you had those 3 kids? Because they are a handful sometimes, the
They're
characters.
a handful.
Yeah.
I have 2 at home of my own.
Yeah.
And I would go to work and have 3 there as
Right.
well. And there's no escaping the time spent, the dynamics set on the stage,
Right.
and the age of the kids, that there was a parental thing going on. Definitely a relationship.
Right.
And a familial relationship with all of us, just out of time spent together.
Right.
With, such emotional stuff going on,
Right.
personally and professionally, in this experience.
Yeah. That's great. Do you have a favorite moment from the show? Either a storyline or a moment
I
or a
have
scene?
8 favorite moments. I think that my favorite stuff is when I got to work with, I could just think of like dynamics with each of my fellow actors.
Yeah.
The George and Mimon stuff was always a good show.
Love it,
Because
yeah.
that classic father and
Right.
mother-in-law, son-in-law thing was so much fun to play with the wonderful Annie Potts.
Yeah.
Everything I got to do with Mary and working the struggles of a marriage.
Yeah.
That was so much fun acting stuff to do.
Right.
And then regarding the kids, those stand out because they were special, a lot of them.
Right.
I had a special relationship with each kid, and we got to see those kind of tender moments.
Right.
Certainly with the father-daughter relationship. The stuff
Yeah.
I got to do with Reagan being missing.
That was my favorite moment with you and her, yeah.
And I get a lot of feedback from, you hear a lot about the Red Lobster episode and that dynamic, and teaching her to play baseball, all that stuff.
Yeah,
is
teaching her how to drive, that was my favorite
Yes,
one.
all that stuff is kind of extra special.
Right.
To do that with Missy.
That was great, and I can't remember if I asked you, I apologize. Was there anything from the set that you took as a souvenir or a memento?
Yes, but I'm not going to say what, because I stole it.
Oh, good.
There is something I want from the set. I can say what it is, and I hope I can take it with no problem. In George and Mary's bedroom, there is one of those acrylic picture cubes.
Oh, nice.
Very popular back in my youth. It was a full cube, and there was a picture on each side of the cube.
Oh, great.
And there's each family member and one of Mary and George, and that sits in Mary and George's bedroom.
Oh, my God,
And I
that's
would
so
love
great.
to walk away with that.
Oh, that's nice. And then lastly, just to get off topic a little bit, is there any music that you're listening to that you're talking about?
There was music I was diving into for the show, for the character of George. It was certainly classic country of the 80s, classic rock and roll of his era coming up, of the era that he was in, and older country music as well for the region. Those are all appropriate, I think, to the character. And I always put some of that stuff on, like 80s George Strait, and then the classic 70s rock that George would listen to. Right now, I'm listening to stuff that my kid is listening to.
Oh, yeah.
I have my son who's 15, and I pushed my musical influences on him as a child for sure, but he is now exploring by himself. And I can see some of my musical tastes, my influences coming out.
That's
but he's
awesome.
teaching me things, and he's into things that I like. He's really into Paul Simon, recently.
Wow.
And he's into a guy named
Did you see
Andrew
the
Bird.
documentary? Paul Simon has one coming
He
up.
watched it just recently.
Nice.
Yes. And he's really into a guy named Andrew Bird, who we like in our family as well. So that's kind of the stuff that's been playing around our house recently.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Well, congratulations on the success of the series.
Thank you so much.
It was very nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you too.
Thank you. Bye-bye.